Fine. So what is the writing module like? We have discussed this in the first session where I took the introductory class, wherein I mentioned about all the modules. We discussed in detail about the modules. And there are two tasks that you come across in the writing module. The writing module is of 60 minutes. So on the D day of your test, of the IELTS test, you will come across listening module to be the first module, then the reading, and then comes the writing. So writing is of 60 minutes, and these 60 minutes you have to complete two tasks. So there is task 1 and task 2. Sorry for the error. Now for task 1, that is what our main focus will be next 3 days. So task 1 is for 20 minutes, which needs to be completed in minimum 150 words, and you are given a pictorial or a visual data. Whereas in writing task 2, you can take 40 minutes, at least 250 words you need to write in, and there's a topic on which you need to write an essay. Okay. Now, when I say 150 words, it's not minimum 150 words, so you finish just exactly for 150 words. You can go beyond 150 words, but you cannot write anything less than 150 words. So the average, the word range that people give varies. Some would say 165, some would say 170, 175, 180, 185, and 190. I would go to the max. I say 180 to 185 is a good range, but if you still extend your word limit, do not go beyond 190 words. That's not good for you, for two reasons: that you may tend to make more mistakes. It can be a grammatical error, so mostly a grammatical error. So basically we warn against using words more than 190. So go for something between 150 to 190. So if you're writing 160, 165, 70, 75, 80, 85, that's fine. But you should be covering all the aspects of writing. So we are going to discuss a little about the parameters that I talked about in the first session. So we will now, I definitely want all the students to know what the parameters are, for two reasons: that before you send me any writing task, you should be aware what will be what should be looked for in your writing by yourself, and even by the examiners, what they want your writing to be like. So you should have a fair idea. Again, that will give you an idea on what band you want. So minimum requirement for all of you here is 6 in each, right? So definitely you cannot afford to have anything less than 6, but you cannot prepare for 6 and get 6. Instead, you will have to prepare for something like 7 or 8 in order to be something like, if you feel that you are writing in the classrooms, if you feel that you're writing of 8, trust me, you'll get 7, 7.5 in the actual exam. And I am a little, I do not give scores so easily. So I give scores very, I would say, not, I'm not generous in giving the scores. So if I am scoring your essay, that means something around that should be your score in the actual exam. So that is about the general information on the writing module. So again, it is going to harm the coherence of the passage if you try to insert something in between. So it's crucial that you plan what you're going to write and write accordingly. Now write for next 12 to 15 minutes. Now depending upon how much time you have taken in the planning, you can write for 12 to 15 minutes. Next 12 to 15 minutes, either you're typing or you are going to write on the paper. Now, I think 15 minutes are sufficient in writing if you have practiced properly and if you have planned your essay properly. 15 minutes is sufficient to write. And the last 2-3 minutes, you should take in proofreading. Proofreading for what? First, spellings. Proofreading your spellings, because they are again going to be checked. Again, punctuations. You need to check whether you have applied proper punctuation, you haven't missed any comma, full stop, and so on, or any capital letter that is required. You have added a capital letter to where it was not required. And of course, while writing, because the brain is speaking and you are writing, there are chances that we did say a word in the brain, but we forgot to put down in the paper. So if there is any word that is missing or extra, you can look for those words as well. But do not make major changes to your writing, because in the last 2-3 minutes, you do not have enough time. Now, when I say it is 20 minutes, that means the examiner there is not going to tell you that now your 20 minutes are over and now you should switch to your writing task 2. Nobody is going to tell you that. These 20 minutes, the time management for 20 minutes has to be done by you yourself. Again, it's your choice whether you want to write on the task 2 first or task 1 first. You can write any one first. So your choice. If you feel that no, it would be better that if you finish your task 2 and then move to task 1, that will be that will give, you know, you feel relieved after writing an essay, you can do that. Okay, so take your call. Here there's no fixed rule which one to do first. Now after that now I'm going to discuss about the types of passages that we have, the types of graphs that we have and the questions based on them. Now what you see here is a line graph. So this is a line graph. Now here they have not mentioned that what kind of a graph it is, but they simply say the graph below shows the student, okay, it's not student involvement. I think that has come from some other slide. This has shifted over here. So it's not for this, but we will just discuss a few things. Let's not take all this. Shows the percentage of total music sales by method. Summarize. Now this point is going to remain the same. Okay, summarize the information. So this word is crucial. What it says is summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. So wherever it's relevant, you have to make comparisons. You have to summarize the information. You have to select and report again. So again, while now you have to decide which one. Now there are 3 lines. One, the blue dotted line is about this. It's talking about the streams. The red straight line talks about the downloads, and this is about the CDs purchased. Now percentage of total music sales by different methods. So we have 3 different categories, one through streams, second through downloads, and third through CD purchase. Now they have not mentioned further that from which year to year, but here we know that it is from 2011 to 2018. And this, on this axis, it shows 0 to 60. But you don't need to necessarily write on the axis what you see. That we are going to discuss next, but right now you just understand the types of graphs that you get. So one is a line graph. Again, what you see here is the data. This is the entire data, but this is a trend. What is the trend? It is growing, it is coming down, or it's again growing, it's decreasing. So these are trends. So whatever you see here in between the X and the Y axis is considered to be the trend. Okay, so when someone says what is a trend like, you have to look for this information between the X and the Y axis. Okay, clear? So far so clear? Write down clear. Cool. Okay, now let's go to the next graph. The next graph is what kind of a graph is this? It's a bar graph. Now this was the information for this. The graph below shows the student involvement in 3 sports in a school based on which grades they are studying. So grades they are studying, what grades they are talking about? Grade 8, 9, and 10. Now they are talking about student involvement in 3 sports. Which are the 3 sports? Blue is soccer, red is cricket, and third is basketball. Now, and it is mentioned in percentages. Okay, now summarize the information. Again, it says summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, so we are not going to make any irrelevant comparisons. So this is going to remain the same. So this is your question task. This is a question task, and this is your prompt. So this is what the graph is going to talk about, and this is the question. So this is the task question, or I would say this is the task. So what is the task? That you have to summarize, select, report, and report the main features and make relevant comparisons. So this is about the bar graph. Now what you see over here is majority of the students play cricket, and followed by soccer and basketball. Okay. Now we are not discussing, because we are not discussing the entire graph today. We are just going to come on to the next one. So you may have a line graph, you may have a bar graph, or you may come across something like this, which is a pie chart. So this is a pie chart. Now this is double pie chart. You can get a single one, or you may get a double one. Now I'll just describe a little on this. Kunal, are you writing a general test? For general test, okay, let me just finish this and I'll discuss with you personally. Okay. The graph below shows the main reasons for migration into and out of the UK in 2007. So in 2000, so we are talking about 2007, it says main reasons for migration to and from. Now this to and from has been mentioned as into and out of UK in 2007. Now immigration means they came into UK and emigration means they went out of UK. So this is where you find all the data. So if I see maximum green over here, so what does green suggest? That definite job. So 30% of the people came to UK with a definite job, and 29% in emigration, and 29% people went out of UK with a definite job. Now again, there is a different data, there are different data, right? There's 26% for formal study, blue is formal study, and here it's only 4% for formal study. So these are the comparisons that you will make between why the difference in the data. So you can say almost similar, it's the same, almost a percent more in immigration and a percent less in emigration. So this is what we will learn in the upcoming classes, how to make the comparisons, if it's within a graph or between two graphs. So this is between the two pie charts. Now we come to the third one, or the last one here. The picture below shows the manufacturing process of bricks. So what you will find here, a diagram or a process wherein you see arrows basically. So you know it starts from this one, then there's a second step, then there is this third step, fourth step of drying, fifth step when it goes into the kiln, then it cools down, and then it goes into the packaging, and then for the delivery. So on an average, there are 8 steps involved here. So you will have to write down into a sequence that number 1, what happens, then 2, what happens, then 3rd, but it has to be in a descriptive manner, not just by putting down the information. So you just don't have to put down the information, number 1, this, second, this, third, this. So you write in a description and a elaborate manner. Because in a graph such like this, it is if you just write without elaboration, you may be able to write it in just 100 words. That won't be good for you. So you will have to elaborate more in detail, write about what you see in the picture. There's a metal grid and what you see and what it happens. There are rollers. Means you just need to look into the figure and try to elaborate as much as you can, so that at least you reach to 160 words. So this is the problem with students when it comes to process and diagrams, that if they just state what is given, you may fall short of words.